We're back, chat. We're back. It's your boy P Matt, Crypto with Paul. This is the Coin Zone. What's going on, you guys? I appreciate you guys for tapping in right now. It is Tuesday, October 7th. We have a lot of exciting breaking news we're going to cover. I know you haven't seen my face in like almost a week. I've been doing a little traveling, on a little vacation back in my home state of New Jersey, but I wanted to jump on today and chop it up with you guys. We have some exciting things coming for you guys soon on this channel, so make sure to stay tuned. Some really, really big, exciting things. All right, but let's get into today's news. This is pretty big, okay? We're going to go right over to something that Discover Crypto posted, right? And I also did a lot of deep dive and looking into this morning because this is really, really big. Awesome news. This is from Barron's. Okay, so S&P launches new crypto index. This is combining 15 cryptocurrencies with 35 stocks. Okay, never before we've seen anything like this. So the S&P Dow Jones Indices, wow, okay, launched the S&P Digital Markets 50, a new index combining 15 cryptocurrencies and 35 crypto-related stocks. The index, developed with Dinari, aims to provide diversified exposure to digital assets and will be available in Dinari's D-Shares platform. Interesting. No single asset will exceed 5% of the index. New equities require a $100 million market cap, and new cryptocurrencies need a $300 million market cap. So crypto stocks have grown so popular, right? They are getting their own index. Now, why don't we just switch it over to here? Because as I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of digging on this, guys. I have not been able to find at all, it has not been announced yet, which 15 specific cryptocurrencies will be included in this index. But if you want to tap in, maybe leave me a comment right now, guys. Interact with me, as I always love when you guys do. Chat, let me know. What are we thinking right now? What do you think is going to be included in this index? I can only assume it is going to be a lot of these cryptocurrencies we've been seeing getting ETFs, right? Or applying for ETFs. I'm going to go ahead and say XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, maybe BNB. We see BNB hit a new all-time high right now. That is a big indicator of things to come. Maybe something like Hedera, maybe Say, maybe Sui. But you guys let me know, chat. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could take a look at, a lot of different ways to go about this. You think what's good? PCN performance. I appreciate you for tapping in and commenting, brother. You think the top yielding coins make it in? Let me know what you mean by yield. You mean performance or actual yield bearing coins like Solana? Curious. This will be spot. I'm assuming so. But yeah, let me know what you think about, or what you mean by PCN performance. Like staking. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, I would assume so. So we have Solana, Cardano, Polkadot's a big stake, Cosmos. We haven't really seen much of Cosmos included in anything so far yet, but Cosmos has a very high stake, over 16% on Coinbase, I think higher elsewhere. There's a lot of different, Ethereum, obviously you can earn staking rewards on. There's so many different opportunities now though with DeFi and staking and lending and borrowing where you can earn higher yielding than a stake, 10, 15, we've seen this elsewhere. Unfortunately, these are things that I've stayed away from my whole entire time being in crypto just because I didn't really trust anything higher than a 5 or 6 or 7% yield. And it's led to things like the downfall of Voyager and Celsius and 3 Hours Capital, right? Because they were offering these high yields that ended up being Ponzi's basically. But I do like where your head's at, PCN performance. And again, make sure to sub to the channel if you haven't. And I wouldn't doubt if they have different staking options here. Do you see Ondo making it in? It'll be like holding on multiple RWA in one spot. Absolutely. Yeah, I think Ondo is making great strides. They're making good partnerships. Ondo, I think, is kind of a sleeper, actually. You see some influencers on YouTube, X, etc., talking about Ondo, but not too many. I know the Discover Crypto guys, I think, are big on Ondo. But outside that, you don't really see too many. But you are right. They are doing great jobs in the RWA narrative, which in my opinion is going to be one of the biggest narratives for this bull run. you have AI, and you have RWA, I think are going to be huge for sure. And yeah, I think also you're right too with staking. I think Wall Street is going to start to look at blue chip cryptocurrencies that offer a yield, because Bitcoin's already, granddaddy number one. They have Bitcoin, but you can't really earn a yield off that. You can possibly coming soon, right? With Bitcoin OS, the partnership with Cardano. You're unlocking DeFi on Bitcoin via Cardano, which is insane, right? As you guys know, if you're a new time watcher of this stream right now, you're new to me, Crypto with Paul, follow me on X, subscribe to us here on YouTube. But as you guys know, I'm a big ADA fan. And I think what ADA is doing with Bitcoin DeFi, in the eyes of some, they don't really care. You just want to hold your Bitcoin securely. That's fine. I completely get that. I honestly hold my Bitcoin in a Roth IRA, right? But now this opportunity with being able to earn yield on your Bitcoin via the Cardano blockchain is pretty interesting. You see XDC blowing up more since Securitize's home there. They seem to have good real world motion with big names. I'm surprised that XDC has not gotten more attention, to be honest. These are all great questions, brother. I appreciate it. XDC has always been, obviously, the ISO 20022 compliance. It's been right alongside XRP and XLM, but really no one ever talks about it, and it's kind of crazy. Love Cardano, a ton of slept on projects like ETH before DeFi summer. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and Charles is even being honest about the state of Cardano DeFi and saying we've kind of failed in a way. We need to do a better job. Just sat down with, what's his name, Rand of Crypto Rand, whatever the hell that guy's name is, Crypto Banter, who used to publicly bash him. Now he's making amends, closing those gaps, which is great to see. He's kind of turned over a new leaf. He used to be a little spicy. Now he's seen wearing Ripple shirts, doing good work with Brad Garlinghouse, making amends with anybody who he didn't, who he had beef with in the past. You see ADA doing partnerships with all these different blockchains. I think recently, what was it? Hedera? What was it? Was it Hedera? ADA just had that, right? That partnership with. It's just so interesting, and you love to see it. So I don't know, guys. I mean, and I totally agree here. If you look at a project like Cardano, the whole point is it's not a meme coin gambling casino like Solana is. The whole point of it is to offer real world utility around the world. So you have projects like World Mobile, which started there. You have projects like IAG, cloud storage, which is getting real traction. You have a lot of these blockchains, you have a lot of these projects built on Cardano that could be massive in the future because they're built with integrity and they're built using the rails of Cardano, which screams security and true decentralization. You can't really find that elsewhere. Maybe some projects, but they're much smaller, and they don't have a guy like Charles behind it, and they don't have thousands of developers pushing it forward. I mean, this is why it's always been one of my favorite. The DREC Alliance, that's a good alliance. Yup, that's XRP, Hedera, right? A couple other ones, absolutely. I think it's four or five of them. DeFi Llama fades ADA in a lot of stats. The Treasury Department for sure, along with staking. Yeah, ADA has a treasury of over $1 billion in it. It's insane. You don't really see that anywhere. Dedium is dope. Yeah, I remember when Dedium was launching. Works with Canva, I didn't even know that. That's wild. Yeah, Dedium's a good project. You guys know I'm a huge fan of SNEC. Realistically, SNEC outperforms ADA in the past year, in the past 6 months, 3 months. It is what it is. That's kind of leverage I have on my ADA. You can also go to a platform like Bodega and do a little gambling there, maybe, as we see Polymarket doing all these deals right now with the New York Stock Exchange. Polymarket just did a deal with $2 billion. Insane. So I think that's only going to be growing. Strike Finance is doing insane things on ADA right now. That is kind of like perps, hyperliquid kind of on ADA. I mean, so much to be bullish about. And PCN Performance, I appreciate you tapping in, brother. Let's get back to this here, though. So S&P launches new crypto index combining stocks and tokens. Insane, guys. S&P Dow Jones reportedly announced on Tuesday the S&P Digital Markets 50, A new index that combines 15 major cryptocurrencies with 35 stocks tied to the crypto sector. The index reported by Barron's is being developed in partnership with the blockchain firm Dinari. While the S&P Dow Jones has previously created multiple asset classes indices, this is its first to blend traditional equities with cryptocurrencies. Now, this kind of reminds me of something that Kevin O'Leary has said, I think when he spoke at the Bitcoin conference in 2023, it might have been, when he said cryptocurrency is going to be more of the 8th sector of the S&P, right? It's just going to be added on. I mean, he was right. At the time, people called him crazy. Everybody in the crowd was like, yeah. And, he might have said just Bitcoin at that time. He might have said crypto. I don't remember specifically which one he said, but he's right. So ADA, XRP, HBAR, Algo, and another, yeah, on the DREC Alliance. It is Algo too. I believe you're right. It might just be those 4, or it could be another one too. I don't remember. It's yeah, but the DREC Alliance is insane. We've talked about what's his name on Hedera before, Lehman Bard, right? However the hell you say his name, let's look him up. Who kind of reminds me of Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's see. As you guys know, here on this channel, I like to make insane comparisons and lookalikes. That's just how my brain works. So, and I'm not picking on anyone. This is just how, again, my brain works. But if you guys want to tell me if you see this comparison or not, right? If you don't know who this is, okay, this is the creator of HBAR, inventor of the Hashgraph distributed consensus algorithm, co-founder of HBAR, Hedera. Look at his face, guys. Look at that smile. Okay? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Do we not see the similarities? Look at the smile. Come on, bro. Look at this guy. And I'm not picking on anybody. It's just how my brain works. Chat, let me know. How far off am I? Just let me know. That's where we're at. But let's get back to this. Okay. The company stated that stocks eligible for the index must have a market cap of at least 100 million, while cryptocurrencies must have a market cap of at least 300 million. Now, anything I'm assuming that's going to be included in this out of the 15 cryptocurrencies is going to have a market cap much larger than 300 million. In my opinion, we're looking at top blue chips, which have billions, right? ADA, for example, could be on the low end. ADA has, what is it up to now? I don't even know. Let's look at ADA. 30 billion. I was going to suggest around that. So 30 billion. Maybe something like Hyperliquid would be included, but it's a little newer. I'm assuming it's going to be, as we know, guys, the SEC only qualifies right now 3 cryptocurrencies as quote unquote mature, right? That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, right? So let's take a look. Is Bitcoin going to be included in this, or is this going to be more alt-centric? Nobody knows yet, but let's speculate, okay? I'm assuming, not Tether, obviously, not USDC, obviously. I'm assuming Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, XRP, Solana, maybe Doge. I don't think it will be Tron. I do think it will be Cardano. It could very easily be Chainlink. Avalanche has been getting insane traction lately. Huge headlines, huge partnerships. It could be AVAX, right? We see an AVAX treasury company basically starting now behind Anthony Scaramucci. Could easily be HBAR. I don't think it would be Litecoin. I don't think it will be Shiba. Shout out to Ton. I don't think it will be Ton. Could be Kronos. We see what Donald Trump is doing, right? And guys, go look at our last video. If you want to check out our last video here on the Coin Zone, I mean, our last video was about what Donald Trump is doing, right? If you guys haven't subbed to us on YouTube yet, we're a very new channel. We're over 1,000 subs already. If you guys are one of them, goddamn, I love you. If you haven't yet, now's your time. All right. Time to lock in, guys. So Go watch our last video. This just came out yesterday. Trump's secret altcoin play, CRO. If you don't know what Trump is doing with crypto.com, it is for sure worth looking at. So, chat, again, let me know what you think is going to be included, these 15 cryptocurrencies in this new S&P index. What are we looking at here? Again, my guy, PCN, you bring up a great point. Look at these on the side here, yielding. Again, it's not going to be USDC. Could be Cosmos, because look at that yield. Polkadot has a great yield. But again, these are two that have really kind of fallen behind. You know, out of the altcoins, top altcoins that were big last cycle, right? Avalanche, Cardano, XRP, Solana, BNB, Hyperliquid, and Sui are new. But again, I just want to point this out. Great yields, right? Cosmos and Polkadot. But look at their performance the past year. Down 6%. Let's go to Polkadot. Past year, up 1%. Great. But again, compared to something like Cardano, what's it doing the past year? It's up 141%. What has XRP done the last year? It's up 443%, guys. So do you think Wall Street's going to take that in consideration? Absolutely. So when going back to this index, out of these 15 cryptocurrencies that are going to be included, I mean, what do you think we're going to see? I'd say the top 20 for sure, and some bottom 50s too. Yeah, I mean, I know Say, I think, has a market cap over $1 billion now, right? Let's find Say real quick. I mean, BitTensor could be one. Let's go back to Coinbase. BitTensor could be one, maybe Render. Out of the AI plays, those are two of the top. Near Protocol could be Near. I know Near's been thrown around here and there. I think Near, has good tech. There we go with Ondo. Just around 3 billion. Pump Fund is insane. I can't believe Pump Fund. Zcash is a little interesting. Zcash kind of doesn't have as much attention as I would expect. Caspa, as you guys know, I'm a big Caspa fan. So slept on. Some say right now there's manipulation happening. There's something going on with MEXC exchange. We'll see what happens there. Caspa's only at a 2 billion market cap, but I think it has so much room to grow. Algorand, I think, is a great project. I'm a fan of their CEO. I think he's a genuine dude. That's really the things that I look for in this space. What does your chart look like? Does it look healthy? Who's your team? Who's behind this? What's the tech like? What's the mission? Algorand's a good project in my eyes, guys. I don't think it's really been doing that well in the past year. I'm wrong. 81%. Up 81%. Algo could be huge, guys. I mean, Algo's market cap is much smaller than everything we're talking about here. And it's up 81%. I mean, I've always been a fan of Algo. I don't invest in it personally. But, I mean, 22 cents, only a $2 billion market cap. This could go crazy, honestly. Obviously, none of this is ever investment advice, but I've always been a big fan of Algorand. I believe they actually build something solid. Here we are with Say. So Say is just behind Algo. 29 cents, around a $2 billion market cap. Say has not been around for that long, but I know it has been getting traction. Yeah, just over kind of 2 years, guys. But Say is specifically built for traders, right? SEC, or excuse me, fucking Gary Gensler on my mind. Oh my gosh, guys. Hate to see it. Shout out to Paul Atkins. Okay, SEI, Say, is a sector-specific layer 1 blockchain specifically designed to optimize trading. It's very fast, and it does this, like it says, it's specifically for one thing. Okay, and it's good at it. Right? You ever go to a small business? You ever go to a bagel shop? They got a couple options on the menu, not a big menu, right? But they're good at what they have. All the stuff on the menu is fuego. That's like Say, guys. That's like some of these little cryptocurrencies or a specific company, right? They're not going to give you everything to soup and nuts, but what they do offer, they're freaking good at. And that's the point here. That's what some of these chains are good at. So shout out to Say. Cosmos ecosystem is top backed. They connect to everyone. The one thing I am super interested in with Cosmos, which they are kind of connected, and I might do, we'll see what happens, but we might do videos about this in the future. I want to get the CEO on. I DM'd him. He didn't answer me yet. So Greg Asuri, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, answer my DM, brother. I want to talk about the Akash network. Has my full attention right now. Been doing a lot of research on that blockchain, the Akash network. Yeah, link in for sure. Yeah, I agree. Chainlink is probably going to be included. Sergey Nazarov has been all over the White House, meeting with Trump, etc. Cheaper research chain to transact on. Yeah. I mean, what else, guys? I mean, this is anything lower than Say. They said 300 million. So why don't we just go down all the way to XDC is 1.3. I really hope we don't see anything Trump affiliated including this. Quant, I think, is a good project. Quant can have a lot of good price potential. Quant is another one that is kind of ISO 20022 backed, up 52% on the year. Right? So what is Quant? Quant is a cryptocurrency project that is launched in 2018 with the aim of connecting blockchains and networks globally without compromising the efficiency of interoperability of the network. Yeah, I mean, you need things like this, guys. And when you see institutions picking winners, I mean, you can only assume what's going to happen next. Avi, I mean, this is the Avi CRV V2, but Avi, I think, has huge DeFi potential, upwards potential. Yeah, I'm a fan of Avi on Ethereum. DeFi play there. I don't know if we'll see any memes. If we do, I'm assuming it would be Doge. I mean, Virtuals protocol is very interesting in my eyes. But again, I don't know if like any of these. Aether is interesting in my eyes too. But again, not for this index, but just in general. Those are two AI ones. Aether, Virtuals protocol, I think is NFT based kind of. But some of these guys, I mean, I don't see anything here. Because there's so many top ones that with billions-dollar market cap that are going to be included. I mean, I don't see anything here that's going to be included. I really don't think. I mean, Dash, people like Dash, but how are you still this small? You've been around for a minute, Dash. Dash was one of the first cryptos that I looked at when I first got into this space 4 or 5 years ago. Dash, derived from digital cash, is an open source blockchain and crypto that strives to provide a fast, cost-effective global payments network that is decentralized. Great. It's a fork of Litecoin. Great. But at the same time, we have so many of these competitors now. You have Ripple doing its thing. Caspa's doing its thing. You have stable coins. I mean, it's up 36% on the year. Not bad. Still hanging around. But why has there not been adoption? Really hasn't been adoption. Seems to be doing good though. Very interesting here. Shout out to Dash. Does anyone hold Dash out there? I don't know. Algo. Yeah, Algo for sure, brother. I think Algo, Chainlink, I do agree with you. Let's go back to the tops and spec this out again. All right, so Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, XRP, Solana, that's 5. ADA, I do think that's 6. Link, Algo, that's 7, 8. Maybe Doge. I wouldn't doubt if they threw Doge in there. Just because the performance, guys, it outperforms Bitcoin. Okay, it's up 134% on the year. It's still doing its thing. It's still in the top 10. I wouldn't doubt if we saw Doge in here. I really wouldn't doubt it. What else? I really wouldn't doubt if we've seen AVAX. Again, $12 billion market cap, much bigger than, Algo, for example, like almost 10x market cap, but only up 8% on the year. Now, I do think the upside with Avalanche could be huge. All-time high was 123, something like that. Look where we're at now, 28. There's a lot of room to grow here with Avalanche. Don't sleep. I do think Avalanche is great. Bitcoin Cash, I mean, I don't know. It's up 75% on the year. Bitcoin Cash is a good mineable cryptocurrency. If you solo mine, you can hit a block easier, meaning you can get $577 just by hitting a block. It's much easier than Bitcoin. So maybe there's something there. I don't know. It's still sticking around this top 20-ish area. Litecoin, kind of similar. Litecoin has been getting a lot of crap lately. People snipped out this little clip of Charlie Lee where he said basically just buy Bitcoin. I did hear that was a little out of context, though. I haven't listened to the full interview, so I'm not going to sit here and say that that's what he said. I've seen some influencers defending him, etc., and defending Litecoin. I've always understood Litecoin. I get it. It could be good. The silver to Bitcoin's gold, right? That's kind of the play. Easier to transact. Just how silver was in the past compared to actual gold. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting for sure, guys. I mean, once we learn what 15 cryptocurrencies are going to be included in this, I think it could be insane. The timing of this all, especially if it comes out in the next couple weeks or month or so, as things, October starts to uptick. And again, if you guys are new here, October, you might have been seeing this narrative on X lately. People are saying crypto is going to go crazy in October. They call it Uptober. Traditionally, that doesn't really happen till around the second week. So if you're expecting things to go crazy right now or tomorrow, just have a little patience. And again, I always like to implore you guys, zoom out. This isn't about what's going to happen over the next 6 months, right? You do want to lock in and pay attention because these bull markets last shortly. So once we do see insane price action, lock in and have an exit strategy. But truly, you need to zoom out and think over years, over a decade, over maybe 2 decades, right? And think about what's going to happen then. What if you invested in Amazon 15 years ago and then you cashed everything out? Look at it now. Same with Apple, right? Nvidia, Microsoft. These things are the biggest in the world. At first, they weren't. It took them a long time. Found a company that buys BNB as a treasury asset, holds over 300K. Interesting. What do you think the overall market cap goes to when they enter? The entire crypto market cap? I mean, what is it now? A couple trillion, over 3 trillion? Just over 3 trillion. So probably just over 4 trillion actually now. 4 or 5 trillion. I don't know. It's a good question. But I think the main comparison right now, everything else is speculation. The first one that we have to take a look at is Bitcoin versus gold. That's my opinion. Because as we know, the market runs based off of what Bitcoin does, basically, and then based off of what ETH does. Now, we do have ETH treasury companies and Tom Lee doing its thing. So we could maybe see a decoupling in the next coming years or so where ETH just starts to do its own thing at its own time period, right? But for the most part, historically, what happens in the markets and altcoins is dependent on what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin continues to gain traction, now, some people think at some point Bitcoin will take over the market cap of gold. I don't know about that because gold just hit over $4,000 for the first time. Gold is still gaining a crap ton of traction. People are turning to gold and Bitcoin for a safe haven, not just Bitcoin. Now, maybe in the next 10 or 20 years or so, that flips because millennials buy more Bitcoin than gold. And millennials are about to be the richest generation in history once they inherit money from the boomers. So it might take a while. But as of right now, gold's not going anywhere, guys. So I don't know if Bitcoin's going to eat up gold's market cap, but they're just going to keep growing. The S&P I'm talking. I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know if I'd be able to answer the market cap of the S&P, just being honest. But that's a good question. I just think it's a brilliant thing what they're doing here. You're merging kind of old schoolers and boomers with how millennials trade now. And that index is going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Because again, you're kind of bringing the best of both worlds together in a sense. But it's not Apple and stuff. It looks like going to be included in this stuff. It's crypto-based stocks. So it's basically like looking at a high-risk tech stock or portfolio, excuse me, which traditionally boomers like to stay away from. So I don't know how easy or how fast this index is going to gain traction. It might be more popular amongst the youth, but we'll see. Either way, I think this is huge and something to take a look at and do a lot of research about and possibly take advantage of. Or just be a degen like us and just stick to buying cryptocurrencies. Right? I mean, we're degens, guys. Are we? Are you guys degens? Either way, chat, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, what you guys think is going to be included in this index. I'm very interested to see and hear your opinions. PCN Performance, you're dope. Thanks for tapping in with me. I had a good time. I appreciate you tapping in with all these comments. Make sure to sub to the channel if you haven't. If you guys are watching right now, if you enjoyed this stream, make sure to tap in, sub to the channel. I am Crypto with Paul. Make sure to follow me on X. And stay tuned because we have a very, 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 very massive interview coming soon on the channel. Someone with almost 1 million followers. Okay, so tap in. PCN's locked in with us. Take care, brother. Appreciate you guys. I will see you again soon. Let's get it.